Do you think that's kind of the ultimate goal then of sport and sports events, to actually get people out and to get people to play? Because to me, I think maybe in terms of the consumer experience, you perhaps can try to reconcile the entertainment bit of the sport and the much larger kind of cultural and social part of what sport actually is and what it was originally kind of invented for.
Well, there's various different roles and responsibilities within the sporting landscape that are somewhat overlapping and not always aligned. So if you take football as an example, it's not Manchester United's job to get more people playing football.
No.
It isn't. Their job is to...
Are you from Manchester originally?
Just near there, yeah.
Do you support Man United?
I don't actually support any football team really. I've managed to avoid all of that, which I'm quite pleased about.
Okay.
So I follow it, but I don't support a team.
All right.
Their job is, they're a business, their job is to generate eyeballs on brands and use their product of 11 people running around a pitch in order to do that. They will have some community outreach, absolutely, of course they will, and they'll be trying to support it, but ultimately they're not trying to grow the game of football in England. That's the FA's job. And the LTA for tennis. Wimbledon's job, again, they've got Wimbledon Foundation and they've got Road to Wimbledon and they've got the Junior Tennis Initiative, and they do a lot in the community, but ultimately their job is not to grow the game of tennis in Britain. They promote it, absolutely, and they support all of that, but that's the LTA's job. So there aren't that many organisations that have a dual job of top-end professional elite sport and participation, even within the governing bodies within the UK. We've got a performance angle which drives Team GB and all the success there, but they're disconnected from the responsibility for growing those sports, and there's a natural tension there, some of which is you see with, for example, basketball, which had a lot of support in terms of run up to 2012 Olympics, and then all of that was withdrawn because they weren't successful in winning a medal, which has a significant impact on their ability to attract and grow the base level of basketball in the UK, which is needed in order to be performing. So there is a certain amount of misalignment of all of the different parties in terms of how do you grow a base in order to provide the professionals that are the entertainment element, that provide the interest, that grow the base. And there aren't many sports that have got that working fully effectively. I think maybe one of them that you could look at would be something like rowing, that maybe do that quite well. I was reading some stuff yesterday actually about the Leander Club in Henley, which is where a lot of the Great Britain rowing team grew up, so where Pinson and Redgrave were as a club, and they took an approach back in the 80s which was ahead of the national governing body in terms of how they were going to focus on top-end elite in order to maintain the club and the ethos and help grow, and I think they've done it as a sport quite well.